How did you know? How did you know? The only reason I came here is to meet you, and I just arrived here.
Why do I feel that you're being disingenuous?
No, but I mean, how does it feel to be a backbencher?
Yes.
And finally, people wanted you.
Oh, people
then
always
they
wanted
said-
me. You were the only one who shunned me.
I was the only one that shunned you.
You were the only one who
I
shunned
thought you were always there. You wanted people to hear you
No,
and to acknowledge
you were always the one who shunned me.
So how does it feel to say you can't speak to the CBC?
It wasn't that I couldn't speak to the CBC. I was told that I was just being replaced. That's all.
Replaced by what?
By Bill Hogan.
By Bill Hogan, but you don't have your views? Were you ready to give your views, or can you talk?
I'm always ready to give my views.
I have never talked about this issue. What's your views on this issue?
I think the TJ caught it pretty good yesterday, don't you think?
Who's TJ? Whoops.
The TJ, the Telegraph Journal.
Oh, the Irving Media.
Yeah,
What-
well, they're
what
not
they-
Irving anymore.
Uh,
Be a little
Jamie
more.
Irving is the.
Be a little more specific. What's your question?
You're trying to tell me I gotta act like a journalist? You can't just talk
Listen,
and say
they pay
what's...
for your they pay for your meal. They give you free entrance to the state of the province every year.
Yeah,
and they
that's
only do that for journalists.
Okay.
So you know, the shoe fits, baby.
So I gotta act like a professional.
The shoe fits.
So is it? Well, I never even touched this. I'm even confused. One guy I was talking to, that's his father's gay, and he said, "Is it more important that our kids should learn to read and write when they graduate than this issue?"
So this isn't about curriculum, and I think that that's where people are getting really off base.
Educate me.
This has got nothing to do with curriculum. It's simply about having a safe place for children to learn.
So
There's a big difference. So yes, you're right. The reason why we're sending them there is to read and to write. But when they're there, they shouldn't be bullied. They shouldn't be mistreated. They should be treated just as equally as anyone else. Everybody thinks it's about curriculum. This is not about curriculum.
Everybody been bullied. Natives,
I was
French.
bullied. I was fat.
I was fat. I had ADHD. I had fist fights. Nobody knew about ADHD in the 70s. I couldn't stay in the classroom. We fought and everything.
Yep.
But the parents were always involved. Now they're saying they don't want the parents to be involved. Is that what?
No, that's not the situation at all. And I think that's a misreading of the legislation. Parents should always be involved. However, and I can't relate to this because I didn't.
You got two kids.
I do, but I didn't know what it was to come home and be fearful of my parents. I didn't know what it was to come home and to be worried about what I would face when I walked through the door. And sadly, in the province of New Brunswick, we have a lot of children.
They're the Archie Bunker style. They're old-fashioned.
No, we have. Look, I worked in the family court system for 17
That's right.
years, and I have seen more than I would care to have to share of children who are scared
parents
when they come home.
So what is the teacher supposed to do?
And our job is to protect the vulnerable.
Yeah.
That's our job.
Anybody.
I'm not worried about the parents in this situation. I raised two myself, and I made sure. I mean, I didn't do it right, and I'm not going to write a book because my kids aren't raised yet.
How old are they?
They are grade 11, 12.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're at that stage.
Yep. But what I did do is I worked very hard to make sure that if there were difficult conversations, that they were comfortable coming home and talking to me about things. And sometimes they did. Sometimes they came home and they talked to me about things, and I thought to myself, I don't want to hear this. But you know what? I also don't want to shut off the line of communication. So when you're a parent and you have those open lines of communication with your children, you shouldn't be fearful of this policy. Some people are trying to suggest that this is some sort of...
So did they want the teacher to get involved? Like if you happen to be gay or transgender, whatever it is, there's so many now. I mean, they look at me and say they don't want to be called gay, they want to be called LGBT. QS. There's so many letters. I said the win. I'm not CBC. The win. So there's so many letters that I say I have ADHD.
Stop it! Come on, ADHD. Come on, bring her back to the question because I got to get.
Yeah. Okay. So the bottom line is,
bottom line.
They want the teacher to, if you're gay, that the teacher can protect the kids, or what's the bottom line here? I'm sorry, maybe it doesn't sound good, but I'm just trying to educate.
No, and I'm glad to have the conversation. It's about saying that these children are afforded the same rights as all of our other children, and you know, I'm struggling a little bit. Like, I went to every single parent-teacher meeting that I could possibly go to. The only times I ever missed a parent-teacher interview was because I had to be here, and that was hard on me. And teachers are amazing. And every time
I couldn't do their job.
Yeah, I couldn't do their job either.
No.
And every time I go to parent-teacher, I sit down and I have some of the same conversations. And some of the conversations I have with them is, how are they doing? Because I worry about my child's mental health, right? I worry what they just been through with COVID was substantial, right? But I also know that the child I see at home isn't necessarily the child I see at school. So I need that open line of communication with my teachers to say, what's your perspective, what you're seeing with my child? And I've never met a teacher yet who wasn't willing to converse and work with me.
There's a question. Does the teacher talk via email to the parents? And does a student talk to the teacher via email on issues?
My kids, I think, email teachers, I don't know. I email teachers because let's be honest, I'm here in Fredericton.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been home for 2 weeks. I haven't seen my children for 2 weeks. So, yeah, if I have a concern, I email them. I find teachers are great, and they email me back. And they'll often say, you know what, if you'd rather do this over the phone, call me tonight. They make every effort that they possibly can to support me in raising my children. I couldn't raise them without them. Kudos, hats off to these teachers. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I'm never going to stop saying it. My sister's a superintendent of a school district in Maine, and when my kids started school, when my son started kindergarten, she said, you're in charge of your children's education. You're subcontracting part of it out to the public education system. And for those parents who are concerned, I just need to remind you, they're in charge of their children's education, and they can teach them inclusivity in the home, or they can teach them to not be inclusive in the home. But at the end of the day, every child deserves to be safe in the school.
One last issue. I need a selfie. Hold it. Could it be possible? Could it be possible? No, just tell the speaker you were talking to me.
No.
Listen,
Yes.
if you turn around, is it possible that with Higgs, your boss, and
my boss
when
is always
Okay.
the constituents
I knew
that
that. I knew that was coming.
Okay.
So the natives and the LGB whatever, I can't say all those letters. Sorry,
You're slowing me down.
But you turn around, they always use the word demand. So maybe doesn't that piss off your boss? Maybe that's why we're having this problem. They use the word demand. We demand this. Higgs is not the type that you demand. You know what I mean? Could that be a problem?
I don't know. I can't answer that one.
I need a selfie. Come on. Okay.